Good morning, dear students. This is your teacher Neelam Elawat, and today we'll start with a new chapter, that is chapter tissue. Now, dear students, we know that tissues will be different in case of plants and animals. So today we'll be taking up the tissues which are present in case of the plants. Okay, everyone? We'll talk about the tissues which are present in case of plants. Now let's differentiate between the plants and animals. How do you think that the plants, they are different from the animals? आपको क्यों लगता है कि plants animals से different है? Are plants different from animals, dear students? Yes. The plants, they do not move. Okay, जो plants हैं वो आपके move नहीं करते हैं. They move. Okay, so plants, they do not move, while the animals, they move. In plants, most of the cells are dead. Okay, most cells are dead. While in case of animals, most of the cells, they are living. Thus we can say that the tissues which are present in plants, they will be different from that of the animals. Right? Because plants and animals, they are different from each other. So their tissues are also different from each other. Now in this particular class, we'll be talking about the tissues which are present in plants. Okay everyone? Tissues की बात करेंगे हम जो plants में present है. Now let's come to the next slide and we'll start with this particular topic. Now before we start with the real chapter, we should understand the word tissue. What is a tissue? Okay everyone? So tissue means it is a group of cells. Now whenever we have to define the definition, we'll identify some important points in that definition. First of all, it is a group of cells. Second, it has similar origin and structure. Okay, as you can see in the picture, see in the first picture you see all the cells, they look alike. First picture में आप देख सकते हैं कि जितने भी cells are there, they're similar to each other. In second also, all the cells, they're similar to each other, but the cells present in first picture are different from the picture of the second. Okay, so all of them, they are the group of cells. Okay, second, they have similar structure, and third, they perform same function. Okay dear students, so these are the three characteristics of a tissue. आप कह सकते हैं कि टिश्यू में की डेफिनेशन में तीन इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स हैं. फर्स्ट, इट इज अ ग्रुप ऑफ सेल्स. सेकेंड, it has similar structure, and they perform a same function. For example, your parenchyma. The first photograph is of parenchyma cells. Okay. Second is your collenchyma cells, and the third could be your sclerenchyma cells. So in your all pictures you see here, in the third picture also you see all the cells, they look alike. They're similar to each other. Right? So tissue means group of cells having similar structure and performing a same function. Okay everyone? Now let's come to the properties of the plant tissue. As I told you in the beginning, dear students, most of the plant cells, they are dead cells. Okay? In case of plants, most of the cells, they are dead cells. That is why these tissues, they provide mechanical strength to the plant. ये जो tissues हैं, ये आपके plant को मजबूत बनाते हैं because they are made up of dead cells. Apart from this, cells of some tissues are also living. Some cells are living in the plant as well. And these cells which are living, they are responsible for the growth of the plant. Okay? So these cells, the cells which are living, they are responsible for the growth of the plant. And these cells which are living, they will divide. They will multiply. Okay? They will multiply continuously, and the number of cells will increase. Okay everyone? These cells, they will multiply, and thus the number will increase, and which will cause the growth. So growth basically means the increase in height, increase in weight. Okay, everyone? So you must, when you look at the plant, we observe that the height of the plant increases, the weight of the plant increases, the number of leaves increases, the number of branches increases in a plant, isn't it? So that is all which comes under the growth. Now coming to the types of the plant tissues. Now in case of plants, dear students, the tissues, there are two types of tissues. One is called the meristematic tissue and second is called the permanent tissue. So what are the different types of plant tissues? Two types of plant tissues, meristematic tissue and the permanent tissue. Now this meristematic tissue is also called as dividing tissue. Okay, everyone? This is also called as dividing tissue. Clear, everyone? So meristematic tissue is also called with another name, which is called dividing tissue, and second is your permanent tissue. Now coming to the meristematic tissue, why do we call it as a dividing tissue, dear students? Meristematic tissue, it contains the cells that multiply. Okay, the cells which are present in the meristematic tissue, they multiply continuously. So they increase in number. So जो cells meristematic tissue में present है, वो multiply करते हैं, divide करते हैं, और उनका number लगातार increase करता है. So such cells are present in the meristematic tissue, and these cells, or this group of cells, they are referred to as meristematic tissue. So meristematic tissue is basically found in the growing regions of the plant. Okay, meristematic tissue, it is present in the growing regions of the plant. Growing regions means plant के वो parts जहाँ पर height increase होती है, length increase होती है, आपका meristematic tissue present होता है, like your root tip as here and your stem tip. So root tip, like if I draw the roots here, so at the tip of the roots and at the tip of the stem. And as I told you, cells of this tissue, they divide continuously. Okay, the cells of this tissue, they divide continuously, and it is of three types. First is apical meristematic tissue. What is first? First is apical meristematic tissue. And as you can see in the picture, apical meristematic tissue जो है ये stem पर होता है या tip. So जो root की tip है, it is present at the root tip and stem tip. ये root की tip पर या stem की tip पर present होता है. Okay, everyone? It is present at the root tip and the stem tip. Second is your lateral meristem. देखिए lateral meristem picture में देखिए. Let's look at the picture. आपकी जो stem होती है, उसकी जो sides हैं, उन sides पर आपका lateral meristem present होता है. Okay, on the sides of the stem, there is lateral meristem which is present. Right? Second is intercalary meristematic tissue. जो intercalary meristematic tissue है, as you can see in the picture, it is present at the base of the leaves. ये leaves, जहाँ से leaves निकलती हैं, नई leaves निकलती हैं, उनके base पर present होता है. So we can say there are three different types of the meristematic tissue. One is the apical meristematic tissue, second is lateral meristematic tissue, and third is intercalary meristematic tissue. Okay, everyone? Now let's talk about each meristematic tissue separately. Now we'll talk about, okay? Now before that, we'll talk about the characteristics of this tissue. ठीक है? As I told you, meristematic tissue को हम dividing tissue भी कहते हैं. Right? We also called it as a dividing tissue. और इसके cells लगातार multiply करते हैं. So this tissue has cells which are very active. तो इस tissue में जो cells present होते हैं, they are very, very active. And they have dense cytoplasm. I hope you remember cytoplasm. What is cytoplasm? Now suppose this is your cell. So this is your plasma membrane rather. Then you will have a nucleus. Okay, you will have a nucleus. And this all content which is there is called the cytoplasm. Okay, everyone? So this is your plasma membrane. If you remember, we have done in the chapter 5. So this is the plasma membrane. Second is your nucleus. This one is your nucleus. And this component which is there is referred to as cytoplasm. So these cells, they have active cytoplasm or dense cytoplasm. And these cells, they do not have any vacuoles. Okay, we know vacuoles का function क्या होता है? Vacuoles, they are meant for storage of food. Okay, vacuoles, they store food. But here there are no vacuoles because these cells, they are continuously dividing. They are continuously using the energy. Okay, so they do not have extra energy which can be stored. Now these cells, they have thin cell wall and a prominent nuclei. ये जो cells हैं, इनकी cell wall बहुत पतली होती है and they have a prominent nucleus. Prominent means they have a nucleus which can be easily seen. Okay, their nucleus can be easily seen. Clear? Their nucleus can be easily seen. So cells are active, they have a dense cytoplasm, they lack the vacuoles, they have a thin cell wall and they have a prominent nucleus. Okay, everyone? Okay, now we'll take up the 3 different types of meristematic tissue. Now first is your apical meristematic tissue. So where is apical meristematic tissue present? It is present at the tip of stem and the roots. Where is apical meristematic tissue present? It is present at the tip of stem and the roots. Like here, as you can see in the picture, this is a picture of stem. And this is of root tip. So here, the cells that you can see, they are meristematic cells. And here also, the cells which are present, they are meristematic cells. So it is present in the stem as well as in the roots. And this is responsible for the growth of the stem and root. So जो आपका apical meristematic tissue है, उसका function क्या होता है? That it helps in the growth of stem and the roots. So what is the function, dear students, for the apical meristematic tissue? It helps in the growth of stem and the roots. Now second that we have is the lateral meristematic tissue. Second tissue is referred to as lateral meristematic tissue. Now if you remember in the previous picture I have shown you that your lateral meristematic tissue is present on the sides of the stem. ये stem के sides में present होता है. So it is present at the sides of the stem and second at the roots. So as you can see in the picture, okay, right? It is present, this particular stem. And as the plant will grow, the size of the lateral meristematic tissue will also increase. So this helps to increase the girth of the stem. ये plant के तने को, roots को मोटा बनाता है, चौड़ा बनाता है, उसकी चौड़ाई increase करता है. Clear? So it is responsible for to increase in the girth of the stem and the roots. Okay? Now next that we have, third is the intercalary meristematic tissue. What is the third one? Intercalary meristematic tissue. Now intercalary meristematic tissue. Now just look at the picture. Can you identify this picture? Can you identify this plant, dear students? This is plant of sugarcane. Okay everyone, this is a plant of sugarcane. I hope sugarcane आपने देखा है, गन्ना जिसे हम कहते हैं. ठीक है, this is a plant of sugarcane. Now what basically happens, you must have seen such markings, जिनको हम हिंदी में पोरी कहते हैं. तो ये जो markings होती हैं, इन्हें हम कहते हैं nodes. So okay, this is a node, this is also a node. And this particular portion between two nodes is referred to as internode. ठीक है, ये जो दो nodes के बीच की जो space है, that is called internode. So your intercalary meristem is present at the base of the leaves and in the internodes. And it helps in the growth of branches as well as leaves. तो ये आपकी ब्रांचेस की लंबाई इंक्रीज करता है, लीव्स की लेंथ इंक्रीज करता है. Okay, so this is your third meristematic tissue, which is called intercalary meristematic tissue. Now, can you tell me all? Is there anybody who can give me the names of all the three meristematic tissues? The first one is very good, apical meristematic tissue. Second is lateral meristematic tissue. Third is intercalary meristematic tissue. Very nice. Okay, everyone? So you got to remember their name, their function, and the place where they are present. So आपने तीनों का नाम याद रखना है. Name you got to remember. Second, you got to remember the position where they are present. And third is their function. This is very, very important, dear students. All three things you must remember. Name, position and the function. Okay, everyone? Okay. So let's come to the second type, which is referred to as permanent tissue. Okay, permanent tissue, right? You remember we had talked about two tissues. One is your meristematic tissue and second is your permanent tissue. So permanent tissue, dear students, it is formed from the meristematic tissue. Okay, permanent tissue जो है वो आपका meristematic tissue से बनता है, but their cells do not divide. The cells of meristematic tissue they divide, but the cells of permanent tissue they do not divide. And they have a permanent shape, size and function. ये जो cells होते हैं इनकी एक definite shape होती है, size होता है and function होता है. So they have a permanent shape, size and function. Okay, everyone? Now there are two types of permanent tissues. First is your simple tissue, another is your complex tissue. Okay, everyone? One is your simple tissue, another is your complex tissue. Now simple tissue, just look at the picture. Can you look in the picture? Try to identify what are the cells same or different? Simple tissue की जो cells हैं वो same है, different है? Yes. The cells of a simple tissue, all cells are of same type. Okay, everyone? All cells are of same type. Now, since all cells are of same type, they perform same function. So, all of them, they perform same function. ठीक है? जो आपके simple tissue है, उसमें सभी cells एक जैसे होते हैं और सभी cells का एक ही function होता है. Now just look at the complex tissue. You can see this xylem has a different, then you have a cambium, then you have phloem. So all cells are different. So complex tissue, it is made up of different types of cells. Okay, this is made up of different types of cells. Clear, everyone? So complex tissue is made up of different types of cells and all cells have different function. Clear? All cells have different function. सभी cells का जो different types है उन सबका अलग-अलग function होता है. So suppose if I ask you write the difference between simple and complex tissue. So simple tissue means all cells are of same type. Different types of cells are present. They all perform same function. They all perform different function. Clear? Now let's take up the simple tissues. Let's move further. We'll talk about the simple tissues. So as I told you, simple tissues means they are made up of single type of cells. Okay, they are made up of single type of cells and all cells have same function. So there are three types of simple tissues. Clear? There are three types of simple permanent tissue. One is parenchyma, second is collenchyma and third is sclerenchyma. As you can see in the picture, right? This is your parenchyma tissue, this is your collenchyma tissue and this is your sclerenchyma tissue. Clear? So what is simple permanent tissue? This tissue is made up of single type of cells and all cells have same function. Clear? And there are three different types. Now we will be talking about the different tissues. Now first we'll talk about the parenchyma tissue. सबसे पहले हम parenchyma tissue की बात करेंगे. Parenchyma tissue जो है, इसमें जो cells होते हैं, they are loosely packed. Loosely packed. As you can see in the photograph, they are loosely packed. Okay? They are not tightly packed, they are loosely packed, and they have thin cell walls. And they have intercellular space. Now just understand what do you mean by the intercellular space. Suppose these are the cells. देखिए ये आपके cells हैं, ठीक है? तो cells के बीच में जो space होती है, this space it is called intercellular space. The space between the different cells is called intercellular space. So cells के बीच में space present होती है. 3 points again I'm repeating. They have loosely packed cells, they have thin cell walls, and intercellular spaces present. Okay? Clear? And the most important, the cell wall is made up of cellulose. Okay? Cell wall is made up of cellulose. This is the most important point. What is the cell wall made up of? The cell wall is made up of cellulose. Clear? Now your parenchyma tissue can have different modifications. आपकी जो parenchyma tissue है, ये अलग-अलग plants में अलग-अलग function perform करता है. Like कुछ plants में ये parenchyma जो है, इसके अंदर chlorophyll present होता है. So the parenchyma which contains chlorophyll is called chlorenchyma. देखिए जैसे leaves में होता है. As you can see here, these are the parenchyma cells, and these cells they contain chlorophyll. What is the function of chlorophyll, everyone? Right. Chlorophyll absorbs sunlight. Chlorophyll helps in photosynthesis. ठीक है? So जब parenchyma cells में chlorophyll present होती है, जैसे कि leaves में होती है, then this helps in photosynthesis. Then this parenchyma is called as chlorenchyma. Okay? We call this parenchyma as chlorenchyma. Clear? Now in case of aquatic plants, what are aquatic plants? Who will tell me? Aquatic plants means the plants which are present in water. वो plants जो पानी में present होते हैं, ठीक है? आपने देखा होगा कि जो plants पानी में present होते हैं, they can easily float on the surface of water. तो how this happens? So जो parenchyma tissue है aquatic plants में, इसमें air filled होती है. It contains lot of air, right? This contains lot of air, and because of this air, the plant is able to float on the surface of water. So इस वक्त जो parenchyma tissue present है plants में, जो floating में help करता है, that tissue is called arenchyma. So arenchyma means the parenchyma tissue which is present in the plants which are present in water. It contains lot of air, and because of the air, the plants they can float easily. वो आसानी से तैर सकते हैं, ठीक है? तो इस parenchyma को हम कहते हैं arenchyma. Clear? What do we say it? We say it arenchyma. क्या कहते हैं मैंने? Arenchyma. Clear? Okay. Let's go to the next type, which is called collenchyma. देखिए collenchyma की cells को देखिए here. Just look at the cells. Here also, just look at the cells. They have a thicker walls. Okay. So these tissue is made up of elongated cells. ये जो tissue होता है ये elongated cells का बना होता है, and cells have very less intercellular space. Cells के बीच में बहुत कम cellular space होती है. देखिए this is the cellular space. Okay, and the cell wall they are thicker at the corners. तो cells की जो walls होती हैं वो corners पर बहुत मोटी होती हैं. Like suppose these are the cells. तो जो इनके corners हैं यहाँ पर they are thicker at the corners. Corner पे ये walls बहुत मोटी होती हैं. Clear? They are thicker at the corners. So cell wall is thick at the corners, and this is because of the lignin. इनकी जो cell wall होती है वो corners पर मोटी हो जाती है, and that is because of the lignin. So their cell wall contains lignin. Clear? And this tissue provides flexibility to the parts of the plant. Okay, this tissue. Now you must have seen, dear students, जब when a new plant is growing, you bend its branch. आप उसकी branch को पकड़िए, नीचे bend करिए and leave it. The branch will automatically go to its original position. ठीक है, ऐसा होता है? Yes. So the branch will automatically go or reach its original position. So this is because it is made up of collenchyma. So collenchyma जो टिश्यू है वो प्लांट को फ्लेक्सिबल बनाता है जिससे वो बेंड हो सकता है विदाउट ब्रेकिंग. So some parts of the plant they can bend without breaking. This means they contain collenchyma. So this tissue provides mechanical support to the small parts of the plant. Okay, so this tissue provides mechanical support to the parts of the plant. Then is the third, which is called sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma जो tissue है, it is made up of dead cells. This is the only tissue which is made up of dead cells. Parenchyma is made up of living cells. Collenchyma, it is made up of living cells. But sclerenchyma, it is made up of dead cells. Okay, and it has thick cell walls. इसकी जो cell walls होती हैं, they are very very thick. Okay, clear? So sclerenchyma is made up of dead cells and it is made up of thick cell wall. And the cell wall contains lignin which provides hardness to them. Cell wall में जो है lignin present होता है जिससे वो hard हो जाता है. Plus pectin present होता है. So their cell wall contains lignin as well as pectin. Okay, the cell wall, rather instead of lignin I should go for pectin. You write it as pectin. Cell wall is made up of pectin and that becomes hard. Now along with pectin it also contains cellulose. So two things are present in the cell wall. One is pectin, another is cellulose. And there is no intercellular space. यहाँ पर cells के बीच में space नहीं होती. Have you ever eaten the coconut, dear students? आपने coconut खाया है? So coconut की जो covering होती है, that is made up of sclerenchyma tissue. अखरोट खाया है आपने? Walnut? That is also made up of sclerenchyma tissue. बहुत hard होता है. It is very very thick. It is very very strong. That is because it is made up of sclerenchyma tissue. It is made up of dead cells, and these dead cells they contain pectin and cellulose. So this tissue provides hardness and strength to different parts of the plant, like your seed coat or walnut. So ये plant को मजबूती देता है, strength देता है. Okay. So which tissue is present in the husk of coconut? Husk of coconut. Sclerenchyma tissue. Very good. Okay. Which tissue is present in the husk of coconut? Sclerenchyma tissue. Which tissue helps in bending of plants without breaking? Very good. Collenchyma tissue. Which tissue contains chlorophyll and helps in photosynthesis? Sclerenchyma. Very good. And that is only a parenchyma tissue, right? Is it clear to everyone? So I hope everybody has understood the different types of simple tissues. Okay. So let's come to your homework for today, dear students. First of all, you will make notes of this topic. Okay, you will thoroughly read it from your NCERT. That is your page number 68 and 71. So far, we have talked about whatever topic we have covered that belongs to your page numbers 68 to 71. And then you will make the notes of this topic in your notebook. Okay, in your notebook. And dear students, don't forget to use the blue sketch pen. Okay, you will use the blue sketch pen. Your all headings, your lines between the questions, they all should be drawn with blue sketch pen. Your heading should be written with blue sketch pen. You will draw the lines between the questions with the help of the blue sketch pen. Right, everyone? Clear? So you will draw it with using the blue sketch pen. Then you will make notes in a beautiful handwriting, right? And you will read the page number 68 and 71. And the most important, once you finish this work, you will send your work, make a PDF of your work, and you will send to me personally on my number. Okay, everyone? So that's all for today. Bye, everyone.